Have you ever had so many thoughts in your head where you literally could not shut it off? And the only emotions you were feeling was coming through these thoughts, these horrible, terrible thoughts. If you have felt this way, I want to share a lot of tips with you guys, and that helped me. And it's super beneficial for everyone to know this. Whoever deals with anxiety, whoever deals with constant worrying, whoever just overthinks a lot of things, then you should keep watching this video. Whoever can benefit from that. I've recently dealt with a lot of overthinking lately, and I did a little bit of research on how to really change your mindset on that. And I know a lot of people can relate to this specific mental battle. Have you ever just had terrible thoughts just come in automatically, regardless if you were actually thinking about it actively, or it comes so subconsciously that you just start believing whatever your mind is thinking? I know plenty of you guys have dealt with that. And this eats away at your self-confidence, it eats away about your relationships, it eats your whole happiness away. And it's definitely not the best way to live, just constantly overthinking and worrying. And I really wanted to talk about that today because I know so many people are dealing with this right now, and it feels like you can't get out of it. You're so deep into this hole where constantly just thinking, and it's just deteriorating your own mental health and physical health as well. I want to go through a little bit of definitions with you guys. It's called cognitive fusion and defusion. Cognitive diffusion is basically when you're basically fused with your thoughts. Your whole body reacts to your thoughts automatically and you start believing them. This can be very bad because once you start believing these thoughts, you start acting on them. But the thoughts in your head are not always real. Think about it like a printer. A printer basically just prints words that it is programmed to do. And sometimes your mind is already programmed to do it, but there's a way to actually fix that with cognitive defusion. Cognitive defusion is definitely super helpful in getting back your mental health. And the definition of that is basically when you're kind of detached from your thoughts and you're viewing your thoughts as a printer and a machine. You're viewing them as a separate entity in your head, and you're not believing whatever this printer in your mind is coming up with. And I recently learned about that because I was definitely going through a lot of heavy emotions based off of my thoughts itself. Something completely normal could happen and I would always overthink, I would always worry because I was already programmed to think that way. And these thoughts are programmed to come in my head and just shout in my brain. And I've never really learned about cognitive defusion to really separate myself from these thoughts. And I wanted to tell you guys about some tips that I did that really did help me. The first tip I started doing was saying, I'm having the thought, and then the thought. Remember to say that, right? I am having the thought that I am not pretty. I am having the thought that my friends do not like me. I am having the thought that he doesn't like me. Something like that. When you do this, it actually makes you actively think, right, about your thoughts, and you're not letting it kind of passively do it. You're going to subconsciously think. But when you do this with a positive or negative thought, this actually really does help kind of decipher what's going on in your head. And then this is when you can start to detach. That's one of the tips that helped me. Do this practice every time you have thoughts in your head, negative or good. Once you start practicing that every single day, your mind's gonna only get stronger. And I wanted to pass this information on to everyone because I know a lot of people tend to overthink, regardless of age, regardless of gender. It's such a big thing that people go through. For me, it's about relationships, right? For other people, it could be about work, could be about friends or family. Everyone lives differently and has different priorities in their life. It keeps me grounded, and I hope I'm helping someone out there, and that will definitely make me a lot happier. The next tip I wanted to talk about is to really just practice being in the moment. When I say being in the moment, is whenever we're worrying, we're always thinking about the future. We're always thinking about what ifs. But what if we focus on the current situation? What if we're focusing on the thing that we're working on right now? To really do this, I would state 3 things that I'm doing at the current moment. It could be more than 3, as long as it keeps you in the current moment. We tend to think about the future with anxiety. Let's say I'm worrying about if someone's not texting me. I will sit on my computer, say I'm on the computer, I'm typing, I'm recording a video, I need to focus on that right now, really stay in this current moment. And sometimes it can be really hard to do, but once you do step 1, step 2 will be a lot easier. And this has helped me stay really on track of my mind. And I'm really a future-oriented person. I think about the future a lot, especially when it comes to dating. And sometimes I need to take a step back and really think about what's going on with myself and what I'm doing right now that's working and not working. For step 3, I think setting a time to purposefully worry maybe a few times a day when you're starting out is probably the best practice to do so. Maybe set a timer for 5 minutes a few times a day and let yourself worry. Start off with 3 times a day and then start doing 2 times a day for 10 minutes and then do 1 time a day for 15 to 10. This will help you be more in control of your emotions and your thoughts as well. And it helps you set a time to really write down your worries, list them out, and clarify some of these worries. Once you start to clarify, it will start making more sense. Base everything off the facts that you know. You can't think about the what ifs. Only state the facts when you're doing this practice. After those 10 minutes are up, redirect your energy. And if a thought comes up randomly, a random worry comes up, say, let's do it in a few hours. We have another session later today. Remember that you are allowed to worry, but once you do this a little bit more, you can have a little bit more control of when to worry instead of it coming to you randomly. This is super beneficial because you don't know when these worries are going to come up. What if you're at a work meeting? What if you're a friend date? What if you're eating dinner with a friend and these super worryful emotions come up and you just don't know what to do? And then you just completely shut down. Practice that. One last tip is the future is a mind projection and it's not fact. It's not real. I want to say that again. The future is a mind projection and it's not real. The future is made up in your mind. Especially these imaginative people, we tend to think about the best, think about the worst, when none of it actually is real. You can pretend that it's real, but it hasn't even happened yet, so how do you even know? So remember, stay in the present. This will help you solve a lot of issues with your mindset, and you'll be so much more happier. Anxiety is an emotion that we deal with, but it will never overtake us. We can reduce the effect that it has on us, and that's what we are striving to aim for. I really hope I helped someone out today, and thank you guys for watching. I really am trying to manifest the best life for you guys, and as long as I'm helping one person, that will make my world. Bye.